What's up, everybody? Happy Memorial Day. Shout out to all of our military that defends this country, that support the people, and for just standing up for the rights of American citizens. Shout out to all you guys here domestically and abroad. It's a tough job. A lot of people don't know what you guys go through. I got a lot of family members that's been through the military, so I give you guys props. And, bless your families for those who have had some, fallen family members. And just much love to our military. Hope everybody's having a good Memorial Day, eating some good food, barbecuing, sharing the time with loved ones. Want to say shout out to all the fans who've been supporting us, giving us thumbs up on our YouTube, Fresh Out Life After the Penitentiary, and telling friends and family to subscribe to our channel. We appreciate all you guys. Also, want to say thank you for those who have tuned in to our Instagram and our Twitter, which is FreshOutSeries, and just all the support. Those who have been subscribing to Patreon. People who've been checking out our website, which is www.FreshOutSeries.com. Also, to those who have sent us questions. And like I said, if you have any questions, you can hit us up at FreshOutSeries@gmail.com. We've been getting some good questions. Some good material for prison talk. I'll keep you guys going with that. We got a cool interview coming up I did over the weekend with my business partner. Pretty good interview with a Southsider. So tune in for that. That should be dropping today or tomorrow. I think most likely later on today. I want to also say everybody who's been subscribing to our SoundCloud, which is Fresh Out Series, thank you. We appreciate the support. And you guys, we're growing in leaps and bounds. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. And we're going to do a big giveaway when we hit 100,000. So make sure you tune in. We're going to do a fan appreciation type situation and give away some t-shirts or a hat or something for those who have been supporting us from day one. We really appreciate it and look forward to bringing you guys more great content. Today, I want to talk about the Weiner man. Anthony Weiner, ex-congressman, pleads guilty to having sex texted with a 15-year-old. Apparently, this is a couple months investigation where he was texting, emailing back and forth with a 15-year-old girl. Now, this is the same guy who got ousted out of Congress in 2011 for sex texting with a female in which he showed his genitals to. So now he pled guilty, and he's looking at 0 to 10 years, and he agrees not to appeal his sentence if he gets anywhere from, 20 to 27 months. So he's going to go ahead and he said he'll bite the bullet on that. Otherwise, I don't know. I guess he's thinking about appealing. But this guy, an elected member of our, congressional body, texting a 15-year-old. I mean, what's up with this guy, man? What do you guys think about this? I mean, and he's not the only one. There's a lot of other guys who ain't got exposed, but he got caught, But what's up with this, man? This guy's 51 years old, and he's emailing and texting a 15-year-old. And, these only looking at 0 to 10 years. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but they give guys life or 20 years for crack cocaine, And I don't want to get into the whole comparing the two, but I just think it's wrong. I mean, if you're how do you judge somebody like this? The underage thing in general. I mean, fuck, man. There's plenty of women 18 above, 19 and above that you can have legal, consensual interaction with. So I don't get the thing about these old ass men trying to interact with young females. And like I said, this guy, he's pretty much done with his congressional career. I don't see him getting into any other office after this. And going to the feds, he's gonna be most likely at camp Snoopy. He's not going to be around any hardcore criminals. I don't think they're going to send him to like a medium. They're damn sure not going to send him to a USP. So he'll be PC'd up, and he'll get preferential treatment to some degree. But then again, a lot of the popos in there don't like sex offenders. They don't have love for sex offenders. So maybe he might get his wig split. Maybe he'll end up at a camp and there'll be somebody there who don't give a fuck, and they'll be like, fuck it, let me split his wig just to say I split Anthony Weiner's wig. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he'll get his motherfucking wig split. As far as his cheeks getting busted, if he was in a state, he might get some cheeks busted. They might be all up in the old congressional cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Having him recite some motherfucking, some motherfucking congressional acts or something. But he's going to the feds, so I don't think anybody's gonna fuck with his cheeks. He's probably good with the old cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Them old pancakes. He's probably not gonna have to worry about anybody messing with him in that degree. But as far as maybe getting busted upside the head, like Subway guy, he might get busted upside the head. But I just think it's pretty sick, man. Especially my whole thing is, and some people say, well, what's the difference between, the guys messing with young girls and somebody going around beating people up or this? Look, man, there's no motherfucking path for fucking with kids, man. There's no path for fucking with old people. There's no path for this fucking with, for rape. There's no path for that shit. You ain't getting no path, motherfucker. If you're busting heads randomly, you're a dumb motherfucker anyways. Now if somebody got it coming, okay, cool. But, when it comes to fucking with kids, yeah, nigga, you need your motherfucking wig split. That's wig split. You know what I'm saying? And you're liable to get your cheeks busted because kids are innocent, man. You don't need to violate a motherfucker like that. And to assert your years of living on this earth over a minor to manipulate, take advantage, you're a sick motherfucker. Plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? You motherfuckers, protecting and looking out for each other, these chomos, man, bust their motherfucking cheeks, man, split their wigs, man. It ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? It ain't cool, man. If you're going to go get you an adult, you know what I mean? Go find you a woman that's consensual. Go pay you a hooker, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's fucked up, man, and I'm not trying to, and I am trying to say, yeah, it is worse than fucking a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucking chomo. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a motherfucking perv, nigga. You got some issues. You're a sick motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? Fucking with a little kid. Kid ain't even, is not even aware or conscious of, of life at that point, and you're taking advantage of him. You're a piece of shit. Plain and simple. So, yeah, man. How you guys feel about old Weiner, man? You know what I'm saying? And him playing with his wiener and showing it where he shouldn't be showing it. Somebody said at the Lowe's camps, they don't even check paperwork. You're right. They don't check paperwork, but maybe somebody might recognize this motherfucker. I'm pretty sure he's going to try to change his look up. He might try to grow a little beard and shit, look like he's a little bit tougher because he's, he don't want to be recognized. But, somebody might sniff his ass out, man, and split his wig, man. You know what I'm saying? He's a cold piece of work, man. I mean, this guy's in a powerful position and he's able to, he's got grown women throwing him the pussy. Yeah, he wants to fuck with a little girl, man. You know what I'm saying? He needs his ass whooped. That's right. You know what I mean? So I just think it's wrong. And, anything dealing with kids, innocent old people, just people who are got considered civilians, I think it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So let's see what else you guys got to say about him and his old, perverted ass. Let me see. Somebody said a 15-year-old black girl will be charged as an adult, but a 15-year-old white girl and child is a victim for sending pussy pics. Yeah, I know it's a joke. You know what I'm saying? It's a joke, our system, how they look at things like in terms of just, race, because it's a racial system, and just how they determine who's an adult and who's not an adult. And, and the bottom line is, I don't give a fuck if you're black, white, Asian. If you're fucking with kids, you need your wig split. I don't give a fuck. It's not, that has nothing to do with race. That's just plain and simple. You need your motherfucking wig split. You know what I'm saying? But, a lot of these guys, he's going to most likely get preferential treatment, plead out. Maybe he'll give some information about the Hillary Clinton email situation. if he has any insight in that, and that'll help, plead his case even down to probation, because it's all this shit, man. It's all leverage for whatever they're putting together into a bigger scheme of things. I'm pretty sure they been knowing this motherfucker was fucking with this kid, texting or emailing, whatever the fuck he was doing. But, they just waited to the right time because they're going to launch something else off of this platform. It's all a fucking game, man. It's a sick game, man. But, that's how they do. They have everybody in these positions, they have something on them. And when the time is right, and if that person ain't doing what they're supposed to do, they will use that information as leverage to basically destroy their fucking life. A guy like this, man, he ain't got his wife is getting a divorce, uncontested. He has a 5-year-old son. I mean, what does he have left? Guys like this, they're not cut for this, lockdown type situation, which, like I said, he'll probably be out of camp. So, he'll have a pretty, he'd be at Camp Snoopy. But, yeah, man. What do you guys think about, what else do you guys think about Weiner, man? Like I said, he's at a camp. He ain't really got to worry about too much beef. And he'll probably be somewhere where he'll have a little bit of pull out anyways. But, people like this, man, it's just, I don't understand how everybody looks at the other guy as such a bad person. But this guy, nobody really thinks nothing of it. And, he was violating a kid. Somebody says, how does it work when someone decides to split someone's wig? Well, somebody like this guy, if he was at a pen, the white guys there at that pen would know, most likely they would have somebody to do a background check. Because this is how it is. Like, if you're at a level, at the state level, the white boys is checking paperwork. They're doing a lot more politicking than the blacks, I would have to say, just based on my knowledge of white dudes I've known that done time, and from correctional officers I know that worked at state facilities. As soon as you hit the yard, you're a white guy, bring your paperwork. And so he would automatically be subject to wig splitting. And even if he went into the hole, what they'll do sometimes with a guy like that is that they'll crack his door open, say for rec, and maybe crack the door open to another guy who's in segregation and act like it was an accident, and they'll run up in there and he'll get his motherfucking wig split in a matter of seconds. That's how it happens. They don't fuck around in the state, man. Motherfuckers in the state is for real, and I know like some white cats I'm cool with, and that's how they're not fucking around in the state. And the feds, in the level 4, the USP, they're gonna most likely find out. They would split his wig up in there also, but at a camp, at a low, he'll get a pass. So, that's what's cracking, man. But yeah, man, on this Memorial Day, I want to I wanted to put this out there. Now they're saying, somebody said right here, the guy that kidnapped the 15-year-old girl from Tennessee and took her to Cali is a dumbass, not for kidnapping, but for bringing a gun to Cali. So yeah, that motherfucker. I seen that the girl from school he kidnapped, brought her out here, was hiding out, and I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. Another perv, man. These pervs, man. I don't get it, man. It's like you're not game enough to get a woman. You know what I mean? You can't, you can't basically put together a relationship with somebody of the same age. It's pretty sick, man. These dudes is, got a lot of weak motherfucking males out there, man. As far as somebody says, are there prison politics in females prisons? If you guys check out the interview I did with Yvette Moran, and there's another interview we did with another young lady. Female prisons, as far as politics, I don't know if she didn't mention anything about checking paperwork, but I know the females are a lot more serious when it comes to respect. And, motherfuckers get hot oil poured on their ass at night. You snoring, they just might lock and sock your ass in your sleep. It's pretty hard. Female prisons are rough. So I know, Yvette, if you check out her interview and you look at what she talks about, I mean, she came out of there and she's basically on disability now. She's fucked up. I mean, it was mentally traumatizing, and she was a tough girl on the street. But yeah, female prisons are fucked up. Yeah, man. Somebody said they don't get in the right mind, or they're the sloppiest fucker, they end up getting caught. Somebody said explain lock in a sock. Lock in a sock is, I did a prison talk on this, and I said this is a way to defend yourself, or if you have a situation where a motherfucker just is bigger than you and he's trying to bully you, you get you a sock, and basically, usually your lockers during the day, you have a lock on there because you can go back and forth, and they don't want people running your cell stealing shit, so you can lock up your property. Well, you take that lock, you put it in a sock, you tie the sock in the knot where the lock is at the end. Now the sock stretches. So now you can swing that sock around with that lock in it, and it's like a nunchuck. You could crack a motherfucker upside their head real quick, and they'll get right. So, like I said, there's always a neutralizer when it comes to this prison shit, man. And if you got a motherfucker trying to bully you, even on the street, and you don't want to, you know what I'm saying, you pistol whip his ass to catch a case with a pistol, lock and sock him. You know what I'm saying? Teach them a lesson, because they, you know, need for a motherfucker to be disrespecting you in any form or fashion. But yeah, man. Yeah, the Weiner man. He's a cold piece of work, man. I'm talking about he said he's got a sickness. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, motherfucker, you got a sickness, all right, and somebody needs to check you with that shit. You know what I mean? If you know, it's pathetic, man. Yeah, somebody said let me see. Somebody said, have any incidents in the law library? In the law library, there wasn't very many incidents, but I see motherfuckers get down in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? There's private areas in there where you can, you know, a blind spot. They call a blind spot a place where the guards can't see you and you can put in work. And you know, they're in the motherfucker, you know, putting in work. And you know, I see motherfuckers get their ass whooped in the bathroom in there. And I remember at one of the spots I was at in the law library in the mob closet, a dude tried to hang himself. And, you know, actually, I think he did hang himself in the mob closet. So they had to lock that. But a guy went in there and basically, you know, found a piping above where the sink was, and you know, hung himself, man, with a belt. So, you know, it has multiple uses, the law library, you know what I'm saying? You can study in there, or you can end your life. So it's up to you. But yeah, man, you know, I like to keep it real, like to keep you guys educated on what's going on. I don't try to basically glorify any of this shit, you know. I don't try to say, hey, go do this, go do that. I just share information, man. I'm just here to basically lace you guys up on some real shit, and you know, to give you a better opportunity to make wiser choices than I did, because I didn't have a mentor, so I made a lot of dumbass mistakes, man. Somebody said, Big Herc, would you do 10 years for $5 million? No, I wouldn't. I don't want to see another day in prison, man, because you don't know if you're going to make it out. You know, it's not about getting out and having a bunch of money. It's about getting out. It's about the time you lost and the family members and just the things you can't get back. You know, when I went to prison, I missed my little brother and sister growing up. You know, they went from being 5 years old to 15 and 16 years old. I missed my sister's graduation. I missed my sister's wedding. You know, I missed a lot of shit, man, you know, and I didn't really think about that, you know, when I was out doing my shit. But I don't even know if it would have made a difference anyway, because I was in a different mind frame and I was hustling. So, but I wouldn't do no 10 years for no fucking $5 million. I would find there's too many opportunities to make $5 million on the street. You know what I mean? People don't want to work. They want to sit around and still get paid. Well, prison, you do nothing but sit around and do the same shit every day. Fuck that. You're on the street. Get out and hustle, man. You know what I'm saying? Get your money on. Somebody says, do guards ever get attacked? Yes. When I was at Rampart, before I got there, one day, a guy, an inmate, I don't know what prompted him, but this is at Rampart USP, excuse me. And this inmate, I don't know what prompted him, what he was going through, but before I got there, he basically took two straps, you know, two blinkies, which is two knives, straps, knives, blinkies, pokers, whatever you want to call them, shanks, taped him to his motherfucking hands, and came out the chow hall and just started stabbing guards. Stabbing. I think he killed one guard and just was sticking, and everywhere they try to grab him, he just be sticking. And they shot him. The dude they killed him, man. I mean, he stabbed I don't know how many guards, and he was on a cold mission. And this is some real shit. This is at USP. Dude, he was strapped up, and he was just like, the straps, the shanks weren't coming out of his hand. They were in there. And he was just like you said, he was a moving weapon. And they took him down. That was at Lompoc USP. Somebody said, where do you smoke weed in prison? Smoke weed in prison. They smoke it in wherever they can smoke it out on the yard. You know what I mean? But they do random piss tests in the pen too. So, you get caught with a dirty, they put you under investigation, and then you're always subject to random piss tests. So, they do have random piss testing in the pen, and they check people they check for people smoking weed because they know weed is coming in the pen. They know cocaine, heroin's coming in the pen, meth. So they're on it. The guards get motherfucking dropping kites. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch out who you smoke weed with too, because you might be smoking weed with a snitch. The motherfucker might be doing a lot of time, and he'll do anything to get a favor or to try to create a bust in there. I mean, you got a motherfucker doing a bunch of time, and he's not smart enough to go to a law library to research his case. He might try to involve himself in the drug trade in prison and then line up a bust to get his sentence reduced. People do all kind of shit, man. You'd be surprised what motherfucker will do when he's stuck up in there and he feels he has no other options. Be careful. Somebody said, would you smash a female CEO or nurse? When I was locked up, if I had the opportunity, hell yeah. Shit, I'd be busting out them coochie cheeks, man. I'd be putting in, yeah, hell yeah. If I had the opportunity, I didn't get the opportunity because I wasn't at a place where I had that, I could maneuver like that. You know what I mean? And I didn't really feel that vibe. I mean, you gotta, if you get to the right spot, you feel a female's feeling you and you can make a move. And, I know motherfuckers in there who's getting their dick sucked, who's fucking, it's going down. And, if you got big money and you know how to use that money to sway people, you can make shit happen. So, yeah, I ain't no doubt. I'd be in there trying to fuck like a motherfucker. Somebody said, with smashing a lot of bras when you got out before you... Somebody says, were you smashing a lot of bras when you got out before you got married? Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to get my numbers back up. I was knocking them down. I don't know if you guys have seen the episode of Prison Talk when I talk about the cuckold, but I would hit these parties and there'd be about probably like 8 married guys there, maybe 10, and a couple single females, and I'd come in there, with my motherfucking, protein drink, and I'd be tearing they ass up all night. I'd go in there, fucking start at 9, 10 o'clock, and be there till like 6, 4 or 5 in the morning, and get home by 6 and just sleep the next day or so. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, I love pussy, you know what I'm saying? I missed it like a motherfucker when I was locked up. So, motherfuckers who think doing time is cool, ain't nothing cool about being away from pussy. You know what I'm saying? I love that shit. You know what I mean? It's a drug. I think it's the best drug God made. So to miss out on that, it's a motherfucker, man. I hated beating my meat. I hated jacking off. I hated looking at fucking fiend books and imagining, a woman. And then when I fucking realized I'm still in the pen. That shit was horrible. So, yeah, man. Somebody said, how do you beat your meat if you have a cellmate? You don't beat your meat with a cellmate in there. That's one of the rules I mentioned in the prison talk also. If you beat your meat and you have a cellmate and that motherfucker stands up or gets off the bunk and you got your dick out, he might think you're sex playing him. That'll get your wig split. You don't expose yourself like that to another man in prison unless you motherfucking want your wig split. So be careful about showing your meat while you're in prison, beating your meat. You make sure your cellmate's gone, and you put your towel up in the window so they can't see you. and you beat your meat. You don't be beating your meat for other motherfuckers to see you beating it. Beat your meat in private, or beat it in the shower if you got some privacy in there. Somebody said, you ever heard of Fleece Johnson, the booty? No, I never heard of no booty warrior. You know, these motherfuckers who like I said, people taking ass in a prison. You know, you gotta be a kind of a weak motherfucker. You know what I mean? If a motherfucker is trying to jump on you and put a knife and say he's gonna pull your pants down, nigga, you're gonna have to kill me. There's no way I'm gonna let you take my motherfucking cheeks. So if a motherfucker tries that, you know, you put a nigga, I'll headbutt you, I'll crush your balls, nigga, I'll fucking destroy you. You will never have sex with another man. You know what I'm saying? You try to take my cheeks. So yeah, you know, when they talk about these booty bandits and shit, maybe in some of these pens down, I don't know where, they got some weird motherfuckers who just try to bully and take people's asses. But if you see a motherfucker come in, and you'll know if a motherfucker's a known booty bandit, hey, stay the fuck away from him. And two, if he comes, if you know, and a motherfucker try to catch you at a place that's a blind spot, punish his motherfucking ass. He deserves it. But yeah, man. Big Herc, somebody said, are you originally from the Bay Area? I'm not originally, well, I'm from Sacramento, Northern California, but I lived near Frisco for like 5-6 years, went to school in Hunters Point at MLK. So, you know, I'm familiar with the Bay. I used to live in Santa Rosa, you know what I'm saying, Roner Park. So, you know, I fuck with the Bay real tough. I got a lot of love for the Bay. And, you know what I'm saying, it's a big influence on me. And, yeah, you know what I'm saying, Northern California is, you know, pretty much where I was born and raised before I moved to Southern California. And, yeah, I was a porn star before I got locked up. You know, Big Herc. I didn't do no gay porn. Some motherfuckers out there hating. I was busting down coochies, you know what I'm saying? I was a motherfucking coochie assassin. And, you know, from the 90s all the way up into 2000, I made over 200 movies. And I got a book I wrote about the porn industry called, you know, How to Get Down Like a Porn Star. So it's on Amazon. You can check it out. I was in a porn game real tough in the 90s. Have I ever seen an inmate get killed? I seen a guy, I think I mentioned in an episode before, I walked by a guy I seen bleeding out in a hallway during a movement when I was heading from the yard. And I act like I didn't see him. You know what I mean? I just kept walking, but he was laid out on the ground. There was blood coming out from him, and somebody had stuck his ass real good. And like I told you before, if you see somebody bleeding out or looking like they're you know, like they got, you know, stuck or anything, don't go trying to help them or touch them or anything. You get blood on you, you're fucked. You're under investigation and you're subject to be in the hole. So you gotta let a motherfucker just kind of find his own way. You know what I mean? Prison's every man for himself. Ain't no what do you call it, Heimlich? You know, well, you might be Heimlich a motherfucker in the kitchen if he's choking, but ain't no helping a motherfucker out of a shanking. You know, he's on his own. Somebody said, let me see, Aston in prison, taking, have any flashbacks from prison? Yup. All the time, man. Fucking nightmares. I hated prison. And, yeah, you know, that's why people say, would you go back for money? No. I know how to make money now. I mean, with the internet, with the World Wide Web, I mean, there's too many opportunities, man. You know, I wouldn't go back to prison and compromise my freedom voluntarily for anything. Fuck that. I know. I mean, it's too much things I want to accomplish on the street before I'll, you know, spend time going to prison. You know, for some money, you know, to get out and get a fucking, no, fuck that. I'll hustle out here. I'll you know, go to work. I'll do what I got to do, man. But I'm not jeopardizing my freedom. Somebody said, what was the worst threat that you heard in prison? There's not a lot of threats in prison, man. If somebody says they're gonna do something to you, they're gonna do it. You know what I mean? Ain't no talking. And like I said before, if somebody calls you a punk or a snitch or a bitch, you gotta bust their motherfucking head. You gotta split their wig. There's no passes. Ain't you know, if somebody sucker punches you, you gotta have to go back and split their wig. You know, you gotta. It's all about manhood up in there. It's all about, you know, showing that you can stand on your own, because ain't nobody there to hold your hand. And you know, motherfuckers ain't running around talking a bunch of threats up in there. if somebody does something, they're gonna do it, and you don't want to be the one running around running your mouth either, because you get your wig split. So, yeah, man. What is a fish? Fish is, you sometimes they say fish is like new person online. You know what I mean? Never, maybe somebody's fresh on the yard. You know what I mean? You got some fresh fish, something like that. And, that's a term they use for that occasionally. Somebody says, am I a racist? Nah, man. My brother and sister are half white. My stepdad's white. So, I've seen both extremes. I've been in the hood, and I lived in fucking the OC bubble, the whitest place in Southern California, Huntington Beach. So I know both extremes. So when people ask me about certain things, I can maneuver in either environment. So racism, I don't know nothing about that shit. I can talk, I've experienced it, but I'm not with that bullshit. Somebody said, who had the keys to the yard? You ain't trying to, that's for you to not know unless you're in the motherfucking mix, because, that motherfucker's handling business. But keys to yard means whoever is shot calling in that particular click on that yard, they have the keys to the yard for that particular gang. And that's a reference, keys to the yard. And, depending on who rolls in, sometimes the keys are passed to another individual. But these individuals who have the keys to the yard basically have somebody in front of them, and they communicate with other people and other institutions. And so that's why sometimes you can see shit jump off in one pen and it'll jump off simultaneously in 4 other institutions, because of these people who are calling shots for whatever particular gang. But that's what's up, man. I rather, like I said, I try to not get involved in a lot of the political shit, because the less you know, the better. The more you know, the more you're under investigation, and the more, you subject yourself to a lot of bullshit. Just got through working out, so I'm drinking a little bit of the yard time, after the workout with some Minos. You know how we do it out here on the streets. Got to keep the yolks loaded up, with some protein and amino acids. Somebody said, would you die for the homies? Shit. Back in the day, I was out there, I was doing dumb shit like that. Rolling around for a bunch of motherfuckers who really didn't give a fuck. But now, hell no. I live for my fucking family. I'm not going to compromise myself for some motherfucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth it. Somebody says, my dad's in prison for killing someone, raping his kid. What are our chances of getting out? He has life in prison and is an Army vet. Oh, shit. He's in prison for killing somebody and raping their kid. I don't think he's getting out, man. I'm sorry to say, unless there's some evidence that shows that he wasn't there at the scene of the crime and he wasn't actually the person that committed the crime. That's a fucked up charge, man. I mean, raping somebody's kid, that's, yeah, man. I'm sorry to say, man. I don't think old boy's getting out. Not unless he is really innocent and can prove that through some type of DNA evidence or something like that. That's a fucked up charge, And chomos don't get no love, man, in the pen. You know what I'm saying? You rape somebody's kid, man, that's unacceptable. But I want to get into the shout outs to everybody. I like to do the shout outs at the end, to you guys who've been supporting us, and appreciate the fact that you guys are tuning in and making Fresh Out what it is. Because without you guys, Fresh Out wouldn't be Fresh Out. And I love y'all, and y'all always show me love, man. So who got a shout out? Shout out to Coachella. Who else we got? Shout out to the homies in Sacramento, North Highlands, you know what I'm saying? Everybody who showed the support. Shout out to let me see, New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Maryland. Shout out to Namibia. I don't know where that's at, but shout out to y'all. Shout out to Richmond, North Carolina. Shout out to Detroit. Shout out to Houston. Shout out to Mississippi. Shout out to Toronto, West Virginia, North Carolina. Shout out to Berkeley, Michigan, Canada, Dallas, Chicago, Belgium, Montenegro, Long Beach and Compton, Chuckwalla, Panama City, Florida, South Central, Marietta, California, Eastbourne, England, New Jersey, H-Town, San Jose, Seattle, Scotland, Cherry Hill, Fresno, New Jersey, Texas, Panama City, Panama, Jamaica, Norfolk, Glasgow, Scotland, Versailles, California, San Diego, Tokyo, British Columbia, Guam, Kingston. Shout out to, who else we got up here? I think I said New Jersey. Milcon, I think is in Mexico. Las Vegas. Van City. Stockton, again. Bronx, New York. East Israel. East Van. Kingston, Ontario. Russia. Shout out to Russia. The whole California, Hayward. Vancouver, Norway. Norwalk. Rosarito. Shreveport, Louisiana. The 661, the 956. Hey, y'all, thanks for tuning in. Montreal, Guantanamo Bay, North Korea, Zambia, North Korea. All right. Japan, Watsonville, Santa Ana, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Rosarito, Mexico, Salinas, Brooklyn, North Carolina, Pennsylvania. Shout out to everybody. Kazakhstan. Anyways, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week. Make sure you guys check out the Fresh Out, man, the channel on YouTube, and subscribe. Give a thumbs up. Tell your people subscribe, man. We got some dope shit coming up. And like I said, we got another interview for you guys that should be dropping today or tomorrow. Tune in for that. Me interview a Southsider from Southern California. And next Monday, we'll be back with another dope Prison Talk live stream. And have your questions ready, and we look forward to hearing from you guys. Hey, man, much love. Have a safe Memorial Day. Once again, shout out to all of our soldiers, all of our military, people who have served this country, who have given their lives, who give their lives every day to help establish democracy. You know, I know you're doing your duty. Much love to you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And like I say, man, ATL shout out. And if I forgot to give you a shout out, my bag. Shout out to Vegas. I'll get y'all next week if I didn't get you today, man. But, hey, I love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Much love. See y'all next week. Same time. And, you know what I'm saying? Have a good one. Be safe out there.